All right, so we got to talk about Nvidia today. Came out with earnings last night. Market loved it. Right now it's up 13.5%. Thought it would hold up the market today, but it's doing well, but it's not holding up the market. So before we talk about Nvidia, let's just look real quick at the market. And it's almost like some news came out. I mean, the Dow was up like 200 points. Look at these bars. They're selling off going into the afternoon, the early afternoon. They're selling hard. The heat map looks decent. It's still a lot of green in there, but it couldn't hold those upper levels. So let's go ahead and get to the chart. And real quick, let me show you the advanced decline line. I want you to look at this. We're going to look at two things. We're going to look at the advanced decline line, and we're going to look at the VIX. I just want to show you the weakness. We opened up pretty strong. This is the NASDAQ advanced decline line. We opened up pretty strong, and wow, just selling off, right? Kind of filling the gap. I don't know if you can really fill a gap on it. You don't have to necessarily fill a gap on that advanced decline line, but selling off right from the get-go. And let's pull up the VIX real quick, see what that's doing. And the VIX is still negative. It was negative a lot, but something right here, right at that 10:30 turnaround period, the VIX just shot up, advanced decline line shot down, and the index is shot down. It's almost like some news dropped. I don't know what that is yet, though. All right, so now let's talk about Nvidia. Maybe it'll come out later. Nvidia, this is the 1 minute chart, gapped up strong, and it's really holding a lot. It's actually pretty impressive. So let's go to the weekly chart. All right, this is the weekly. This is all we're gonna look at for this video. And I already drew some trend lines. I drew some resistance lines, and we're going to talk about them real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 lines I think we need to worry about. All right, number one, this is the downtrend that Nvidia was in. Hey, I got crushed in this, man. I think I was in over here somewhere, and boom, just I bailed. I had weak hands. Anyway, so it sold off, crossed through, broke the uptrend. Okay, number two, uptrend line. This is the uptrend line. And notice how Nvidia just leaves it like it's going to space, like to the moon, Nvidia. So you can actually draw a secondary uptrend line, and it will go like this, right? And you can see how it broke, and then it kind of earnings brought it right back on top. This is not sustainable, okay? This line is not sustainable. This line is up like 70. The angle of this line, this up being 90%, this is 77, 80% going through the air. That's unsustainable. So we know that Nvidia, it has to fall. It's not just gonna go 80% up. Stock like Nvidia, maybe a penny stock, but not Nvidia, 80% up, starting to challenge the all-time high. Nah, I don't think that's going to happen. So, line number 3. Right now it's being challenged by this resistance area, right? This is a huge resistance area. And if I zoom in right here, you can see what happened the last couple of weeks when it challenged this resistance area for the last 3 weeks, basically. Hitting it and selling off hard. Hitting it and selling off hard. It's doing the same thing this week. Right now, if the market were to end, if it could end here for Friday, remember, we still got one more trading day with an outside bar like this, it might just be able to hang on. But I don't think so. I don't think so for a couple of reasons, which that 80%, whatever this angle, is just too steep. And we hitting this resistance. We're hitting it. This is big resistance right here, and it shows you right here how big that resistance actually is, how strong it is. Basically, how many people are selling right there. When you see these topping tails, especially 2 in a row, the sellers are here. They trying to sell it off, and Nvidia is hanging in there like a champ. It's up 14% right into the sell-off. So let's see if it can hang on until Friday and paint a candle like that. I'll be very optimistic if it can. All right, so I got another line for you. Let's bring it down. This is the support right? It used to be resistance. It broke through this, no problem. Look, no topping tails. Broke right through it, kept it moving. Impressive. Well, I think NVIDIA has to fall down. I think I don't know if it tests this support, but at least the 50% mark, because I don't think it gives back all the gains it's up today. It's up to be up damn near 100%, come out with earnings, and then pop 15% in a weak market. I think that's impressive. I just don't think it's going to give that up. So I think if it does, if it does give it up, basically that opening or the low today, I should say this is the weekly, the low this week will act like support, and then it can bounce up. So yeah, I guess it could give it up, but I think that's it. I don't think it gives it up and keeps going, or the 50% mark, kind of right here, or maybe some sideways chop action. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a gray area, and I think we're going to hang out in this area for a little bit to develop momentum, right? To like a coiled spring, to kind of coil that spring so we can blast through, right? So we either got to come back down, which I just don't think it hits this. Maybe this, not this, or we can head sideways, which is like the same thing, right? So while the market's struggling, NVIDIA is just going sideways. Now it has a 15% cushion. So we'll see. I'm gonna guess it stays in this area. If we want this thing to go higher, it needs to stay in this area. We don't want to give up this weekly candle. We don't need another one of these topping tails, because I think this would be ugly. If we get another topping tail like the last 2 weeks, I actually think we will hit this area and possibly will come down to test this uptrend, the primary uptrend, not this one. This, I should say, here, let me get the right drawing. Not that one. This is unsustainable. So let's take a look at the volume. We already know the weekly volume has basically it's good. It's been average. I mean, look at the volume on the downtrend. This thing, they was bailing, and that's why I think actually most of this move they just threw the baby out with the bathwater, and just people is getting back in. I mean, look at that. This is incredible, right? Bailing on it, and then now they kind of getting back in. I think that's most of the move, and then now earnings came out, and then boom, we up 15%. So I think we should be in this area somewhere, and as long as the market don't just start to tank, I think we can hold it. Let's go to the daily and look what kind of volume that we're painting today. And you can see that it's great volume, and it's not even noon yet. But look at the candle that it's forming. It's forming an inverse head hammer, right? A topping tail. So I do think that we come down and we almost fill. I don't think we fill this gap completely. I think we almost fill it. We're going to come in this area and then try to just be gyrating in here for a little bit. Get that coiled spring action going to blow through. Stochastic taking a turn up. Green's about to cross the red. So everything looks good. I do think the sell off, let's go back to the minute, kind of look at, I think we just will start to, the market will give in to this and just kind of come on in, and maybe, I'm going to guess, we close 7% higher. Yeah, there's my guess. Back to the VIX. VIX was at this lows, and it's climbing. I've been watching the VIX all day for the most part, and VIX is just heading higher. There's a little gap right there, so maybe they want to start to build up some puts for the weekend. I don't know. Well, anyway, that's the video. Tell me what you think about NVIDIA. If you held it going into the earnings, give you the applause. Nice trade. You probably want to get out, sell some calls, and just hang on and just kind of wait for this thing to break through resistance. There's no need. You don't want to be buying NVIDIA now. I mean, what are we going to go up another 15%? 10? I mean, the risk is to the downside here. Okay, so just be careful. All right, so let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe, and I appreciate it. Hey, don't forget to check out that Tesla video. Did it this morning. Think you'll like it. I'm Dre Trades, and I'm out.